Hi, my name's Josephine Lang, and I understand that when we die, we are sometimes asked two questions. How have you loved, and how could you have loved more? And I'd like to tell a story that was told to me by a friend of mine, and this was about her father. Her father's name was Charlie, and he was kind of a grumpy guy. He'd been grumpy most of his life. He was a very good carpenter. He was a Finnish carpenter, and he did beautiful, beautiful work. But he was often sort of frustrated and angry and not too happy. And he had lost his best friend when he was a teenager. His best friend's name was Michael. And when Charlie came to the end of his life, sometime in his late 70s, he had gone in for an operation. I believe it was a quadruple bypass surgery, and he didn't make it. He was coming out of it, and he was not coming out very well. And then he slipped into the death state. And his wife and his daughter were there with him at the time. And as he was, passing, they were crying, and they stepped out into the hallway, and the doctor was speaking with them. And at that time, Charlie had a most extraordinary experience. He found himself sailing over a field of beautiful flowers and like a high alpine meadow. And as he was just sort of flying along, he became aware that his best friend from his teenage years and childhood, Michael, was soaring along beside him. And so all of a sudden, he found himself standing in the field with Michael there. And Michael said to him, hey, first of all, they greeted each other, and how you been? Oh my God, it's so good to see you. They were so delighted to be reunited. And then Michael said, gosh, Charlie, too bad you didn't figure out what you were here for. And Charlie said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, the whole purpose for why you were here was to express your love. And he had kind of dampened down his love when his best friend Michael had been killed, and he didn't really get that the idea was not to spend your life being sour over what you've lost, but to appreciate and move on to what you do love. And so he said to Michael, well, is it too late? I mean, can I go back? And Michael said, sure, you can still go back. It's all right. So suddenly Charlie found himself back in his body, and as the nurse was unplugging the life support systems from his body, he suddenly came back into his full consciousness and full awareness, and he reached out and he grabbed her arm and he said, I love you. And when he did that, of course, she screamed and ran out of the room, and his wife and daughter came running back in, and of course he was reunited with them. And he went on to continue in his life, and he became, my friend said, the most loving person that she'd ever known. Her father did. And he lived another 20 years before he passed after that event. And so I just wanted to share that with you as a little story about the importance of our love and why we are here and what our lives are about. Not only are they about us being the most beautiful person that we can be in every moment, but they're all, which of course is all about how we are expressing our love one to another. So thank you very much for listening, and please check out my website, which is stepintomagic.com. Thank you. Bye for now.